How you doing? And welcome to Music Industry City's Monday Kickoff, Motivate and Create, where we offer up important tips for a successful career and get you motivated for the week ahead. Peter Schwing, and joining me is my co-host, Aisha Damo. Let's got a lot. If you want to join in the conversation, just hop in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking, and also you can also join in the comments below if you're catching this after the show. So let's see what we got for this week. All right. It's Monday. Happy November, everybody. Yeah, it's already November. So time to put away the pumpkin spice coffee of October, Halloween, and let's move on. Well, we still have pumpkins and Thanksgiving, so we'll get to Christmas eventually. We have an abbreviated show. Don't worry about it because it's a very important topic. We are going to be talking about why merit still matters while living in a world where your social media popularity is considered a measure of success. So let's get to it. Aisha, hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Peter?
Good. How was your weekend? How was Halloween? Did you dress up?
Awesome. I did dress up a little bit, nothing crazy, but, I had a little outfit and a little monkey that had a matching outfit. So that was pretty fun.
What was this that had a monkey thing? What was this?
It's a long story.
Was this one of those like street performers where like you have like the monkey thing and like they're doing the magic shows or something?
If only, but no, it's good. There were rhinestones involved. There was glitter and it was good times.
All right. Well, as long as glitter's involved. So that's the important thing because glitter makes everything better.
Priorities.
Right on. So, well, tomorrow is a big day. Okay. So it's the day that you can legally overthrow a government by voting. So, yeah. So everybody make sure to get out and vote. And we had Emily White back a few weeks ago on the Tuesday Talkie shows, and she is hosting the I Voted concert. So go to ivotedconcerts.com, and it's going to be a concert of 600 performers, and it's going to be like you can attend it for free. It's a digital concert. It's going to be the largest digital concert in history. So if people want to attend it for free, you just have to like show like your ballot or something like that, your blank ballot, or that you voted. You send that in to them. So, it's a real important day. So make sure you get out and vote. I'm not going to ask you about who you're voting for or anything like that. That's everybody's personal thing, but it's important that everybody votes. But it is also important, like social media is important. And, you mentioned this topic to me, and, it's why merit still matters when your social media popularity, is based as a measure of success. It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode a few years ago. I don't know if you saw it. It was where they, anytime there was a transaction, you would rate the person. So it was like, it was taking Yelp reviews and taking it to the next level. Like if I bumped into you and, you bought me, I bought a coffee from you, I would rate how you were as a cashier. Or if, like saying the same with Uber, but it was just like if I had a conversation with you at a party, it was like I would rate how the conversation went with you. And so you'd have your own kind of clout score. And, people are obsessed. And that was really what it showed, the obsession. So, I think that's kind of is that along the lines of what you're thinking here?
Well, hopefully not. I mean, I hope it never comes to that. I'm more old school than that. I'm taking it back to the old school where, I want to live in a pre-social media world, even while engaging in social media as one has to as a creator. I mean,
right.
You don't have to, but you kind of do a little bit. Or at least you have to figure out how you're going to interface with it. But personally, I would rather live in a 1990s world and pretend that none of this exists.
well, let's give you the big screen here. All right, take it away.
Big screen. So here we are. We're living in this world that seems to value quantity over quality in terms of volume of posts, and that sometimes even rewards haste, even if the results are clearly waste. And we've all seen the posts like that all over, these viral videos that you're like, really, why? Then there were good ones, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, I know that there are musicians and artists out there who are doing amazing, wonderful work. And I know firsthand just how frustrating it can be to put together this mini social media masterpiece, only to have it eclipsed by something like Gal Gadot's Imagine, or some influencers makeup tutorial on how to make your cheekbones look like it's Halloween every day. It's easy to look at all this and say to yourself, well, maybe I should be doing what they're doing. Maybe I should be like them. But, you know, I don't know about that. Because when you ask yourself, maybe if I should be engaging in this cheap and dirty game of content, I mean, where does that lead? That leads to, I don't know what. I don't know what. Because we all say to ourselves, okay, maybe the record label will see me if I do this. Maybe the gatekeepers will let me in at last. But like, what good does that become? That becomes like, why am I making a pop song try to sound like a Max Martin production when the sharks that chain smokers are selling out there is what is considered music on the radio? So quality control. I think it comes down to quality control. And there's a part of that that's also surprisingly spiritual. And we're not even talking about really creating stuff that's way out of the box here, although there needs to be a place for that as well. What I want to say to all my real artists out there is that it's still worth it to have merit, because when you reach upwards towards that unique excellence that is truly yours, that's a meaningful thing, regardless of what anyone's paying attention to. It's what gets you to the essence of your passion and gets you, I would dare say, closest to that thing that we might call God or universal consciousness, or really just the truth of who we are within. So there is this spiritual element to actually following through on your instincts towards greatness and being excellent. I think the reason to continue to move towards an ideal and demand excellence of yourself is that when you take this action, it'll complete you in a way that all the likes and views and comments are never going to. Now, I believe that we can turn around this current climate in the entertainment industry and value more exciting work. And I think the first step in doing that is just to value the exciting work in ourselves, whether other people are valuing it right now or not. We need to aim for that greatness if we want to bring that greatness back into the fold. And we start doing that by valuing it in ourselves, in the people around us, in the places around us that we choose to occupy, building an environment around ourselves and in a very small group of people to begin with that recognizes that and recognizes each other. I think we can build a place for merit back into our creative work and back into the public's desires, but we have to decide that we want to do that, and then we have to commit to it. And it may not be an easy road, but it's one where we get to become the best of who we are. So I think it's worth it. And that's what I got this week. And also, of course, go vote. So important. I'm so excited for November 3rd. And yes, I will be there at the polls.
Right on. One big thing I always take away from this is, you're trying to make great content, and whether it's music, whether it's videos, whatever it might be, it's just that you have to battle through those clickbaity titles. YouTube has, their thumbnails. And we've discussed this numerous times.
Oh, yeah.
The YouTube thumbnails, you have to follow format. And YouTube, whether you like it or not, YouTube will, because they see that the algorithm for certain YouTube thumbnails generates so many clicks, is that when you post up a video, it'll create 3 different thumbnails from it, and it's always with your mouth open. It's always like this shocking look, and it's like, why does it have to be that? This is also, that's kind of how to know your audience. I mean, YouTube is telling you, if you want your video to get noticed, here's what you want it to look like. So, you sent me some photos. So we're going to make them, they're not as over the top, but they're good. And that's what you want. It's like, YouTube is actually giving you the information to help you get somebody to click on your content. So it's creating great content, but it's like, how do you compete with the 3 seconds attention span you have before somebody, if not even 1 second for people to scroll by?
And what I'm saying is just ignore it. make what the fuck you want. Do what you want. Ignore them. Find a quorum of people who also want to make what they want and do it in a way of quality and beautifulness.
Right. And it takes a longer process, but sometimes you could be leading the new path because things change over time. Every few years, it'll change. So what was a great thumbnail 5 years ago is not a great thumbnail today. But even like music-wise, I mean, let's go back to, the different genres. And when a genre started, like it was even like dubstep. And like dubstep just came out of nowhere, but yet there were people doing dubstep. And it was like, well, this isn't what people are listening to. And then dubstep became mainstream because people started listening to it and became mainstream, and it became part of pop music. So actually those people that were doing something different than the norm were creating a new genre and creating the new norm.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use dubstep as an example because, well, it's dubstep. Let's just be honest.
I like dubstep. I like some dubstep. I like standing in a garage with 50,000 watts of sound blasting in my head. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, some people like it, some people hate it, and the people that don't like dubstep are definitely the more vocal ones.
Well, I mean, I think it had its moment, right? And then, trap kind of evolved out of that. And that's actually, I think trap is pretty cool. Like, I mean, from a rhythmic standpoint, I think it's very viable.
See,
that hi-hat thing is around to stay.
See, and I like dubstep more than I like trap.
So the hi-hat part of it, I think that hi-hat pattern, is sticking around for a bit.
So it's coming up with something creative, and I mean, hip hop was something completely different. Nobody was, and DJing. So, stick with what you want to do, and double down on it, and go hard, and just keep doing it. It might take a little more time to get some of those viewers and followers, but you'll be leading the pack, and before you know it, it's something that you could be like. They're the ones people are looking at you as the leader in that style. So keep going. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you, Alicia. It's great seeing you. And that's it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to continue the conversation, leave a comment below. If you find this interesting, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be alerted about new shows. We have Tuesday Talkies tomorrow at 2. That is a lot of T's for me to say in one sentence. And Freeform every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where you get the opportunity to come on the show and chat. So you can find us Facebook, Twitch, that side, Twitch. That's where it is for Freeform. Join that in. You can also find us at musicindustrycity.com and on your preferred podcast player. Thank you again to my co-host, Aisha Adamo. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers.